In this video I'm going to show you how to make your stream look better. If you started with a stream that looks like this, do not panic, I can help you make it look like this. Before I begin, I stream every Tuesday and Friday, 8 PM Central European Time on twitch.tv/Truey. So how do we actually make our stream look better? Let's start with the camera. There's a big chance you're using the Logitech C920. This is a great webcam for streaming, but this webcam needs a lot of lighting. So what we want to start with is add some front lights. This can be really cheap desk lamps, but make sure to diffuse the light with either a paper or a t-shirt. Watch out though that you have a lamp that doesn't get hot. It might burn the paper or the piece of cloth you were using. And I don't want you to set your house on fire. I know that I was saying that the webcam isn't looking great without lighting, but to be honest, this camera isn't either. Now we're on the webcam, and as you can see, it doesn't look great with only the lights from the screens. You cannot see my face very well, and to be honest, you can't see anything. So let's get a lamp right behind our camera. I'm using the Elgato key light. I will leave a link underneath in the description, but you can use like literally any lamp that will have good diffusion. Well, that makes a giant difference, right? You can actually see my facial features a lot better. Right now, it's looking very gray and dark and very unwelcoming if you ask me. How we're gonna fix this is we're gonna add another light in the background, which is the background light and the fill light. Right now my room looks a little bit better with these lights on. The webcam obviously won't look as good as an actual camera. This is how the camera looks like. It looks 10 times better. So if you have the budget to go for a camera like this, it will always make your stream look better. But the camera is good enough to start with. We're very visible right now, but the room itself doesn't look that great. What I've done to make the room look better is I've got a light right behind me. If I turn this on, the room looks like 10 times better already. If you ask me, it looks a lot warmer and nicer. I also have a strip here, which is a Philips Hue light that I can turn on. I will leave a link underneath in the description. Boom, it's on. It makes it a lot nicer and just more happy, if you ask me. So now we've set up the lighting, but I'm not really happy with how this looks. So let's go into OBS. So right now you see my OBS, and I just made myself small so you can keep track of me anyway. So what we want to do is right click on the webcam and then click on properties. Here you can configure video. This will bring you to the webcam properties. If you click on advanced settings here, you can set the white balance, color intensity, contrast, brightness, gain, and exposure. So if you think your stream looks a little bit too blue, then you want the white balance to go to the right. If you think it looks too yellow, then you want the white balance to go to the left. These are the most common things that you want to change, but I would take a look at all these other settings and just mess around with them to see what works for your stream. When you're done, click on save. Now we're gonna close this again, and we're gonna go back right clicking on the webcam and then filters. I might or might not have had a lot of filters on here. So what we want to do first, I'm thinking about adding a color correction. Clicking on the plus and then add color correction. Okay. Here we can get the gamma to be a little bit to the left to make the image look a little bit more darker, and to be honest, for me that looks a lot more aesthetic. And I would bump up the saturation just a little bit to make the image pop out more. The next thing we want to do is download the LUT. I will leave the link underneath in the description again. What you do is you just right click on this and then save image as, and then just put it somewhere on your PC. It doesn't really matter where, as long as you can find it back. Then we're going back to OBS. Click on the plus, apply LUT, and then just okay, and then click on browse and browse to the place where you actually saved it. There we go, we found it. If you clicked on it, it should instantly look like this. I know that this kind of looks horrible, but what we can do is we can set the intensity. And I think it looks great in about 50% before, after. I would say just mess around with the settings a bit and see what works for your lighting. Because we're not all using the same lighting, and even if you're also using two Elgato key lights, the same exact light as I have here, and the Elgato key strips, then you probably have them set on a different amount of percentage. The coloring might be a little bit different than mine, and maybe you turned them a little bit different than I did. So just make sure to check what looks good for you instead of just copying my settings. I had a lot of people ask me about a rounded webcam. It's actually pretty simple to do. So what you want to do is make an image 1080p and make it all black. Then you grab a white brush or shape and just use the shape tool to make a circle or a square or anything you like. All the white parts are going to be your webcam, all the black parts are going to be transparent. If you want to have my exact one, which is just a round one, join my Discord and click on the streamer role. You'll be able to find the free resource channel. There you can download the mask that I am using. The problem with adding filters though, is that if you add a filter to your source, it's gonna happen on all scenes you add this source to. So if you make a round webcam, it's gonna add it to all scenes, and in the talking scene, like this scene, you don't really want to have a round webcam. I have found a way that you don't have to have a round one in every scene. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some scenes. Let's add 3 scenes. And then on the first scene, we're gonna add the camera. Video capture device, camera. Then on the second scene, we're gonna add scene. Scene 2, okay. And on the fourth scene, we're gonna add scene 3. Now we're gonna right click on the scene tree here in scene 4. And then we're gonna give it filters. Plus, add a mask. Okay. And then browse to the place you saved the mask. And close. So as you can see here in scene 4, we're having a rounded camera. In scene 3, we're having a rounded camera, but in scene 2, we're having a normal camera. Which means that if we go to the tutorial, we can have a webcam that is just normal. And if we add scene 4, let's turn this camera off. So we can have one that's round, and we can have one that's not round. So if you want this webcam to be smaller, just click here and then click Control and then drag it. Make sure that you keep clicking Control when you're dragging it to keep it in shape. If you're holding Shift instead, you're gonna look very odd. This is not great. If you want to reset it, just right click, transform, and then reset transform. And you're back. If you want to cut something off, hold Alt and then you can cut some things off. So we can be half a circle? You can be really creative with these shapes. So another thing that you want to keep in mind is that you decorate your room. If you have something cool lying behind you, like this clipper, or this Yossi egg, or we got a Twitch pillow there, that makes your room look a lot cooler and interesting to look at. When you're streaming, you basically want not that many things on your screen. I've seen a lot of small streamers that are putting a lot of stuff on the stream. They have a follower goal, they have a sub goal, they have a bit goal, they have a sponsor. Well, that's probably not actually a sponsor, but you will hear about that in this other video. They will have a hype train, they will have some cat walking around on the bottom, they will have some celebration counter. They got so much stuff on the stream that you don't know where to look anymore. So I recommend that you only adding things that you really think are necessary for your stream. So having a sub goal is fine as long as you only have one sub goal. Just don't add too many things. For me, when I'm playing a game, I'm literally just having the camera border with the name Trui under it. That's everything that's in the screen. Well, and the game, of course, Trui. It would be a weird gaming scene without the actual game. If you want to make your stream look good, on Nerd or Die they have a lot of packages, and some of them you can even get for free. I will leave a link to Nerd or Die underneath in the description. It's an affiliate link, so you will be helping growing this channel as well. And use code TRUI for 10% off. Audio can be as important as your visuals. There are a lot of lurkers that just turn on your stream and do some dishes in the meanwhile. I've got a video to help you improve how your stream sounds. I will see you there.